I'm definitely not prepared or planned. And I also did not plan to put Sesame Street on because welcome, my first thoughts. Same house. Look what's on the screen. Same street. Same house, same street. And why am I talking about this? It's all the concept. Let me explain it to you. Just give me a second. This is a 4-for-1, a 1-for-4 exchange. Where does 41 come from? One leg to stand on. If you take a look at it, okay, it is, if you really take a good look at it, it's a hexagon over a plus sign, right? So you're actually looking at an octagon. But you're looking at an octagon, and an octagon does it always have to have the same amount of separation? No, it doesn't. It can be 2 by 3. I'm going to show it to you. Let me take this off the picture and tell you what I'm talking about. If we look over creation, and this is what I do, I pick pieces apart. Why is C and D the same house? Because what is the difference? What is the distance or the separation between 3 and 4? It's 1. It is in the same house, under the same roof. If we look at the ace is showing different distance, and I'm not really prepared for this video. There's a lot of things going on that I never finished in my last video. And I had written something today, and I want to see if I even have it here. Let me go to comments. Is it here? No, it's not here. I'm going to look for it for 1 second. Yeah, spoke to my owner today, and he says, I have a deal for you. Pay your own hydro, and I'll only put up the rent $50. I says, my hydro's 90. He says, no, it's going to be 50. It's going to be 50, okay? When we put in the new windows, and the new patio door. So the owner, in my lease, the heat and electricity is included, and I try to keep it as low as possible, so I don't want, save money for everybody, right? So he's going to save $40 a month. Keep it. He wants me to pay my own electric, and I'll save $40 a month. Again, wow, that is so cool what's going on. You have to check this out really quick. Take a look. Can you see it? It never shows up. I don't know where it's from or what it is, but every time that shows up, usually somebody, you see it went away. So somebody is breaking into my computer right now. Somebody's breaking into my Wi-Fi. So I turn my Wi-Fi off just in case. Okay. And yeah, this has been happening quite a bit lately. Quite a bit. So what I do besides numbers and some of the artwork is to understand where our numbers can be, where our coordinate space can be, whether it's horizontal, whether it's vertical, whether it's diagonal this way, right arm, or diagonal this way, left arm. Diagonal this way, I would have to look. That, I think they call it in French, aigu. So the aigu is the left hand, and the grave, Grave, is the right hand. This is the right hand. You put up one hand, you can also have 5 fingers. There's a lot of autonomy. Autonomy, can I say that word? I don't like that word. So where am I going to start with? Okay, I want to start with one little piece. And I just came up with this a long time ago. It's just coming back to me now on what it can be. And what it is space, time, polarity, wave, or statistics. So what regardless, basing it on over time, it's over time. So the space is over time. So we're just looking at the space in time, the separation between now and now, the space in time. 44, 47, 82, the cycle. 44 and 47 equals 91. 91, the spirit of IA. Now, you can say artificial intelligence. You can also say international alliance. Okay. It's also an association between 1, 3, and 7. 13 times 7 equals to 91. There are other equations that go on in here. You see, man on the 169th moon reaches the gateway. 7 and 6, 13. 7 and 6, 13 reaches the gateway. 7 and 6, 2 equal to 13. 13 by 13, 169 moons. In rotation of 1 at the gateway of birth. And now when you put these two together as 7 and as 6 as 13. And when you wave the 13 all the way to the top, what happens is the 16 will create 76, which will create multiplication, 42. Addition will equal to 13 equals 255. So within that number, you'll be creating the 13 and the 42. So when we create the 13 from the 16, from the 13, we will then create 3 and 4, 12 and 7, and 19. So from the 16 gets the 13, we'll create the 19. So it's all in one, telling about this numeric value over here, 5 and 5. And if you take a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, it's a straight all the way up. And if you want to look at it, the total equals to 28. So the 7th gate equals to 28 equals to 1 ounce. I like to look at that as number 11. It's the same representation in French. You know, when they say ounce in 11, we're talking about ounces. And now I don't want to mix up the ounces right now because I need 8 ounces to get a cup, which would be 4, 6, 16, 224. Life on Mars, 44 area space. Where do I get these numbers? 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 equals 4 and 4, 8. In order to create 8, you need 4 areas of 20. And the reason you need these 4 areas of 20 is because I'm following the rules of right now of the French. The French language states that when you say 80, you have to say 4 times 20 to get to 80. If you want to get to 90, you will have to go plus 10. First you went times 20, now you're going plus 10. So what is the plus 10? There are designs for this. There's questions to be asked. Right now I'm only creating what I see, and everything is to be discussed. One of them is the windows. And this is what they call Windows 10. In Windows 11, it's only going to be like this. This is Windows 10. This is Windows 11. 88 and 8. Does anything go through the side here? Yeah, we can run this through the side here and this through the side here. Should I be running this like this? Yeah, I can probably do that. Now, where does this come from? I mean, how do I do this? Where does this come from? Well, A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you add them all up, it equals to 10. Windows 10. Now, we got to go to the next one, E and F. We add up 5E plus 6F equals 11. So now we have EF and ABCD. So when we come into this world, right, and we have to have a minion, but not only do we have to have the minion, but we need the rabbi in the front. Usually they count him, but they really don't count him. They want 10 and 1. And nobody's facing each other. Everybody's facing the backs. And remember, when you're in traffic and you're facing the backs, you're only seeing the red light for a stop. So it's the wrong reflection. So this one will be 888, and this one can be either this way or can be this way. Is that right? In fact, this is not even the way the real ABCD goes, because the real ABCD, okay, according to the Earth House, is ABCD. This is where A and B create C, plus D equals to the 7th gate. And then you reconnect it the other way. And then you do the same thing, A, B, C, D, and it's connected to the 7th gate. And you end up with 10, 7, 10, which is 5 times 2, 5 plus 2, equaling to 7G, equaling to 10J. Jack God. That is the basis of that. And then you have your crisscross association between numeric values. So that is 7 in the 5 position. The numeric value for our moon is 5 and 7. What is 7 in this position is male, but it is male in the female position. It is a position of void. It is a position of void because it is the two heart. It is this L over here and this L over here that come together to create this center. There are other ways that we can create this center, and there are other realities of this center, in which I've gone over before. I'm really not. I just want to stop. I'm going to get something to drink in the kitchen. Just give me a minute. After 15 minutes, I'm really not, and I don't like to put myself down. I am really old freaking school. I am doing this for 17 years, and I haven't set up anything on any computers where we can just go pick and find all the elements that we need to understanding the distribution of where our letters go, in which we'll create our artwork through understanding from which what can I say it, from which equation it came from, as like the Mayan have an equation of 25,920. What's everything that I can do with that equation? Does that equation match up with anything that's happening today? Does the number 5 tell you anything? Does a full house tell you anything? Well, did you know they also have a full house in baseball? They call it 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 5. After the 5th pitch, the action pitch. The action pitch is on pitch number 7. On pitch number 6, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you got it right. You know the chicken? She's going to lay her last egg. Look it up right now. The chickens only lay 6 days in a row. They don't lay on the 7th day, but the 7th day is there. They rest. So here it is. It's a full house, 3 balls and 2 strikes, and the action pitch is coming on pitch number 6. And whatever's going to happen, it's going to be a ball or a strike. There ain't going to be no number 7 because that batter is leaving the box and he's going for a rest. Either he's going back to roost in the dughouse or he's going to first base. And that's what the chick does. That's what happens in baseball. And that's what God does. And that's what I do. I just match it up the way it is. Then I want to know, is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adverb? I want to know what geometric shape and size and from what element scale it comes from so I can understand the letters a little bit deeper and how they associate to the numbers on the grid line that was created for us and handed almost to every human being on the planet, calling the face of the calculator to the face of the cube, to understanding that they now gave the cube colors and told me it's got 26 elements, when 8 are to the corner of 3 colors, where 12 are to the center on 3 different turns, like NASA, of 2 colors, equaling to 24, 24, and 6 to the center. There are 7 elements on this cube, 2 opposite, 2 opposite, and 2 opposite to the center 1 core. That is 2, 2, 2, 6. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Let me see if I got it right. Right. 2, 2, 2, 6. Opposite to the center core and the 1 center core. The 6 days and the 1 day of rest to the 6 chicks. And then we have the cycles. Pluto running the sun cycles of 3s. And then we mirror it on the 4th one. And that sun cycle of man, become man, it's 13 to the 13th year that man becomes man. 13 times 13 is 169 moons and 1. 17, Q, at the gateway, man comes. The clock runs 6, 1, 6, equaling to 13. The crisscross of the Monopoly board is 616, with 40 and 48 to the outside of the borderline of the board, equaling to 88 Pegasus. I lost myself where I was in the primary expression of where man, the word man, M-A-N, and it's very important, and I've seen it before, that in the word the sum, S-U-M, the difference between the sum and the sun is they crisscross. There's a passage right there between N and M. They are of the same numeric value, positioned to alternative pyramids, just facing pyramids, to where one home is going to be united. Right here, M and N, sum and sun. Sun coming out of here is 6, 6, and 1, 6, 1, 6. That is what sun is. It's 6, it's 1, 6, 6, 1, 1, 6, 6, 1. And the reason for that is not me. It's nothing to do with me. Nothing has anything to do with me. I'm not prejudiced with the numbers. We had 1 here. We had 6 here. We had 6 here. We had 1 here. And what it is S-U-N. It is the 6th. It is the 6th. And it is number 1. So here is 6, 6,
and here is 1. So if I continue on, it's going to tell me a story. So the short story of this is this will equal to 76, 76. In base, it's going to be 13, 13. And I don't know if it's going to be 1331 or 1313, but the base of this cube, or any cube, is always going to be 6. So it's going to be 6 faces and 9 to a face. So right away we have an equation here. There's going to be 54 area spaces in which 21 will be covered with dots and 33 will be void. So in rotation, 54 of 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, equaling to 6 times 9, 6 plus 9, is equivalent to what this numeric value is here, equivalent to what the name of SUN, sun, is. 6, 6, and 1, 13. The sun is 1266, the passage, female passage, plus 1. Now, I'm still trying to understand why the n, but the n bothers me all the time. The numeric value for the n is basically 14, which creates D, N, A. You can also say A and D when animal and man were created on the same day. They put the word and between the two. French, to say it in French, it is ET. You go from 19 in the word and, 57 equivalent to the moon, to the word ET, numeric value 25, equaling to the earth. Number 25. If I multiply these by 3, I end up with 5775. In the E world of the matter of Christ, in creation of 6. What is this? A is 1, B is 2, C is 6. It becomes 136. We don't have to count that. We just need to count 3, 6, and 0. We move it over because of the 1. And that's our 360 creation. And there's 4 of them. According to what I understand, it is 3 and then 1 for full formation. And I get that from understanding the 1440 minutes in a day, which is 4 times 360 to equate to that number. Now, the thing is, although 360, you're supposed to be going all the way around, we have to go all the way around the pole and we have to service life. So your 360 is for the world to go around, and now you need to service life, etc., of the matrix, equaling to 5.25. And how do we equivalate to what that number is? It's 21 times 25 equals to that cat. It equals to that number. I'm going to show you what it is. 21 times 25 equals to 525. Where is that? It's right here. These are your Earth quarters. Remember the 26 areas on, there's 26 areas on here. Take away 6, there's only 20, but it's 12 and it's 8. Remember that. 12 and 8, 8 by 12, 96 and 20. Okay, we can't do this again. Every day, every single day. Come on, come on. Ow, ow. Come on, come on, come on. Crawl, crawl. Ow, ow. Oh my God, now I'm lost. Where am I? Holy Jiminy crackers. Yeah, so the 21 is, there are 21 dots on this cube. Now, I'm still a little reluctant to talk about the voided space, but the voided space of 33 areas is that rotation between the entry and the exit, okay, of the sun, and the continuation. I'm just trying to see how I can explain life. Once you're always connected to that lifeline, okay, and that lifeline is 9, 1, 5, and 3. Your lifeline is 9. And your way to get in and out is 2 and 4. There is your 2, and there is your 4. Their reflection to your in and your out is your 2 and your 4. They do not need to be in the game, as the expression comes from 3 and 5. It's all about 3 and 5. And if I can find that equation that I already created today, I will show you why we get to 3 and 5 in many equations. And it has to do with meeting, not only meeting in the center of this cube, because the center of this cube is 3.5. The north and south, what time is it? I'm a little tired. You know, I got to get something to drink. I'm only into this 25 minutes. I feel like my story's not good enough. I don't explain myself. I didn't finish with this number over here, which is, again, we're back to 3 and 7. This over here, we're going to create 3 and 2. This over here is going to create 7 and 10. 3 and 2 and 7 and 10. So this is going to give me the gateway. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 will equal to 7 and 8, G and H. If you take a look at the deck of cards, if you take a look at what I do, let me rip this out. I want to show you what I do to what is 6. Here's number 6, okay, and I'm using the 4. The reason I'm using the 4, okay, I'm going to show you something else. I just want to okay, let me, what was I going to do? Wow, I lost what I was thinking about. These two versus these two versus these two. I'm just thinking, I'm lost in my head right now. I started doing one thing and I went on to something else when I ripped this out. Let me try and think what I was doing. We had the center of the cube. Okay, we had the 1440 minutes of the day, which is 86 400 seconds of the day. This would be 13 1000. This one would be 8600. What is the next one? We have, yes, 360 times 4 equaling to 1440. But somehow this cannot be done this way. Somehow there's alternative ways to get 360 and alternative ways to understand 1440. One of the ways is to try and understand this. And these are all 90s. Then there would be and these would be 120s. So here it would be 4 of these. There'd be one here, and there'd be one here, and there'd be one here, and there'd be one here. Each one, actually, no, let's not do that. I'm wrong. I need 3 of these and 3 of these. Okay, I'm not sure how they set up, but I need 3 and 3. They both equate to what is 360. When I multiply it by 3, I get to 1080. But the reason I only need 3 is because the movement, okay, of all of this is A, B, C, D. Now you see that D, that split line over here? When we do it If we would do A, B, C, D this way, it would be something else, would it not? So in between D and C, it is a complete space. Nothing blocks C and D. It is one area. 25. It is a full plug. It is an AC DC complete inside of C. One separation. I'm trying to see where I'm going with this whole thing. So when we relate to this, where's my calculator? When we relate to this, the 1440 minutes in a day, since we know that it only turns around one time, one day, if we had to multiply 360 to get into this, and 360 is a day, we will now have to go 360 degrees as a day of 24 hours. Understanding that 720 is 12 hours. Understanding that 3 times 24 equals to 72 hours will reflect the 720 minutes of the half day, meaning that we will now have to multiply 3 by 1440 equals to 4320 in order to understand what the half day is. 4320. Now remember, during a half day, there's a period of lunch. So we would take out a small area, like I'm doing in these numbers here. You know, you see separation in here, right? If you can understand what that separation actually is, or what it's, did I do all this? You notice I have three, right, I'm missing that area. That's why it didn't come out. Okay, so I'm trying to think where I am. I'm going to the kitchen to get a drink. I hope I don't lose my space or my place. I'm going to come back to the beginning here. Let me go see if anybody's watching. Usually there are, but they're all hiding. How is everybody tonight? How is everybody? Says one's watching. Who knows? I'm going to the kitchen to get something to drink. And I'm going to be right back. If you have a question, no problem. Remember, there's still things that need to be discussed. And I would like to make a program that I can enter all my equations into and then flush it with words. And well, obviously certain words, otherwise it's like splashing paint, right? We don't splash paint. We don't draw all the lines. We know what happens if we draw all the lines. Okay, give me a minute. I'm going to be back. Maybe I'll give you something to look at. For now, I always do that. Look at my floor. I like to look at it through my son's feet. I always liked this one here. Is that as clear as... no. Do you see all the all the octagons? Well, every single octagon, okay, can be turned into a hexagon, as you see over here. All these X's, and all these, what you see, diamonds, okay, this is actually the cube sitting up on its point. And this cube sitting up on its point is 2, 4, 6, and 8. When a cube sits up on its point, regardless, a cube's 4 sides will always retain a number from the other side. Meaning, once you get to 3, after 3, the cube turns over 180 degrees because you cannot go from 3 to 4. This has to be logical. It's for the children of creation. And before I go for my drink, remind yourself that we
because I have gray hair and that I'm close to 60, I am still a child of creation. It doesn't matter what age you are. There is only a few differences between the young and the old. But the primary of all is we are all the children of Ra. All the children of Ra. I'm not sure why I say certain words, but each house has three, and in the center house, okay, it has you have to, when you can understand what it is to untangle these dimensions, and not only to see them as flat face, but see them as intra-dimensional. If you would take this and take one of the shapes and bring it back, or bring it and make it smaller to where it would be wider, it would look like the door has opened to the top, the wider. The longer you put it out, it looks like the longer the road has traveled. These three caps, if you take a look, okay, these three, what they could be, I'm trying to see if, yes, backwards, I think they would be the hexagon if you would put them on top of each other, and creating the diamond in the center. It took three to create that. And those are also located on the jacks and kings in the deck of cards. And please note, if you take out your deck of cards, the queen represents the heaven, the king represents the gateway, and the jack 666 represents the light. I will be back in a minute, and I will tell you why. I only tell you most and everything. If not, I will tell you from where it comes. This comes straight from the deck of cards. A good 95% of everything that I do, except for the words that I may add onto it with reference other than my own expression, I will tell you, just ask me. From every casino to every planet, to the complete zodiac system of every national and race, from every name of every moon and every planet and constellation, from every number that arise. The number comes from somewhere, and within a name is a number, and that number came from somewhere. And every planet has a rotation that has a number, and the size of the planet has a number. And periods of times and hours of days have numbers, and words have numbers. And words are classified: person, place, or thing, adverbs and adjectives. Then there are things that we have built over time: cars and trains and buses and planes, roadways and byways, interstates and autoroutes. Our bodies, the electrical system, games, sports timing and quarters and halves and intermissions and timeouts and penalties and fouls. That was below the belt. From rules and regulations and putting our hands on Bibles, but not understanding that the words inside the Bible being so absolute for what they actually mean, but you can't know for what they mean, because how do you know how to read the Bible? Do you know how to read the word? So how can you put your hand on a Bible if you can't read the word, if you don't know the numerics of that word? Then you are not complete compliant with the understanding other than the definition that was taught to you through man over time. Although the definition at most point seems correct, unless you take it into a court of law, where they start to detail within the word and start to take references of how everybody else spoke about that word. And now we discuss whether the numbers or not should be entitled to have any play inside the word. I think the numbers are more precise than anything else because they will intricately, okay, filtrate into the cube and into the cycles and the sizes and the astrological realities of the movement of this universe up to what is the element and weights and measures scales. As weights and measures, did I say that weights and measures? Does that have to do with temperatures as well? From every game that's ever been played on this planet, or every animal that's ever existed on this planet. I'm going to get something to drink. I'm going to come on back. Here's one of the cards I created. One sun, two worlds, two moons, one on each side. Then we have the D is for the mouth. Did you notice that the mouth is upside down like a frown, like the way the rainbow is? That is half the worlds. So when you're looking into the mouth, what is it supposed to tell you? It's almost like looking into the mouth of one of the Muppets from See the Same Street. See the two parrots on each side, each one holding on. Here, as above, is below. So they each get to feel that same vibration going through, but yet they're never connected because it's the flow that keeps on going between the two, that keeps on telling each other from the different worlds. So if we were from a different world, right, where would we be from a different world from? It wouldn't be from here, right? It would be from in here. We're from a different world, and we are constantly connected in that world because it's inside of us. The constant flow of the three worlds, or how many worlds that are inside of us right now, beating around, trying to communicate outside of our bodies. The conscience is all around us, our memory, whatever it is, but all around us. All around us, you can feel it. You're in your zone, you can feel it. You're in your zone. So that's that element over here. And I'm not sure if you can see this one or this one. I like to call this the rhesus monkey. You can see it in my videos for the last, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years that I've put this up in the odd videos. And yeah, this has got to be 9 years old for sure. Oh, a long time ago. So we're going to get rid of that picture. I'm going to get my something to drink, come back, spend maybe another 20 minutes here. And unless I can get something going, there's so many things going on, so much information. Is any of it real? That's why I really want to create. Why am I not doing it? Why have I not thrown myself out there? Why am I waiting for somebody else? It's ridiculous. I don't trust too many people about certain things, and somebody has to come in here and take part. If you know someone who wants to take part in this operation, and this operation is going to be for saving Kaba. That's what I think we should call this. Saving Mikaza a Cuba. We have to save this cube. We have to save Cuba, my casa. It'd be nice to raise $2 million to buy this building. I know I'm throwing that out there, but I don't want to leave my artwork. But if I have to, I will, because I remember it all. And I can do it again. And if I can't, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. The key thing is to save Kaba, to save the children, the house of the children. We are those children. I'm going to get something to drink. Give me 2 minutes. I will give you this to look at. This 51, right? When I see 1 and 2, I just invert it to 1 can be inverted to 7. It can also be inverted to 6 or 7. It really doesn't matter. It is the year that is coming up in the Hebrew year. This September, October, we ignite this pyramid. 5184, it will be the year 5784 when number 17 gets ignited, when 51 is ignited, 54 is ignited, 57 is ignited. Mars, the sun, and the moon. In between Mars and the moon is the sun in this numeric value. But is that the way it should be going? I don't know. Give me a minute. Very thirsty. Very, very thirsty. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm not sure if you ever saw that. I took that picture of my phone a few years ago, just outside where I'm living, because I've been living here for so long. And yeah. So I just have one more thing to do. So I'm just going to show you a couple of more pieces. This piece over here. Remember, I'm still building. I'm still building. I'm just building all these, and I have to know if they're rational. So what you have in here, down at the bottom, okay, is number 96 and 69. So you can run it around. Now, if I offset these things, can I connect 78 to 96? I don't know. But 6 and 9 is 15. 7 and 8 is 15. Let's play tennis. Now we have 60. 6 is 6. Now when we go 15 and 15 is 30, they all become 3s. 6, 6, 6, 6, they all become 6s. Here we have 9 and 6, 15, 15, 15, and 15. They all become 6, 6, 6, 6. 4 by 6, 24. Here we have 51 Mars. Then we have 42. We have the gateway to the cat. Then we have rotation in the sun. You notice the way we have a piece in the center here? What piece would we put in the center between 78 and 87? We would be putting in the center over here 82.5. Is that what we would put over here? 82.5. 82.5 would go there, right? 82.5. 85.2 would go there. The art, the math, the planets, the zodiac, the time, the calendars, the moon is freaking perfect. It's perfect. It's crazy. Even that one-eyed dog with his nose, and the one-eyed dog with the, I don't know, it just looks really weird in the background. I just wanted to see something for a second. This is really weird. Okay. What am I going to do next? Okay. Yes. Just give me one more minute. I have one more thing to do, if you don't mind. I just want to show you two pieces that I'm going to go do what I need to do. I wish I had them closer together. Here, this piece here, okay, and this piece here. Try and get a screenshot. This piece here,
right? And let me see if I can copy image. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can open it somewhere else. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, let me just show you. Okay, hold on a second so I can find. Okay, so let me see. Let me see. Hold on a second. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, so do you see that image there? Copy image, paste, paste. So I'm going to try and see if I can show you these two images. So this, let me see if I can just cut it out and show you what happens to it. So this fits in here like that. That's where it fits in, right here like that. See, I take it out and I just slip it back in over here. So you go from one world, you pass through the conscience part of that flag, you know, the Canadian flag, from one side of the flag to the other side. It's portrayed the wrong way. And you go from the 0 delta angle over here onto the 1 life angle, 001. And you come into this world over here. And when I move it back here, so let me hold on a second. When we take this, okay, and we just put it right inside of here with the antenna for both worlds, and then they'll crisscross over. But what you have to take a look at is not to forget this piece. Whoop. Wow, it's not to forget there's an eye over here. So if there's an eye over here, I'm trying to think if that can be plugged into your head or something. But anyways, that's just that little image. What was I doing today? I was talking about this, which is the what I call the Tandy, which is 10 1 10 1 10. I'm not sure if you saw me do this today. There are 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2.5 per section. 2.5 per section. So since it's 2.5 per section, actually, I don't want to do it that way. It's A, B, C, D is the way I'm going to do it. Instead of having, you see, instead of having a separation to your 4 corners, this is pulled away and these 4 come together. So my question is, will these 4 corners remain A, C, G, I? If that happens, okay, this box equals to now 20 instead of me writing just 4 boxes, A, B, C, D. So this is up for question. I've been doing it at the basic reality. I've been doing 2 boxes and their value. But when we move left to right on a calculator, there's 1 area space. Although it's too high, am I supposed to go by 2 and now call this area 2? And up and down, it goes by 3. But because I'm going full value of 4 area spaces instead of 1 area space, I'm going to value that at 6. And all these are going to be valued at 2. And this is what the entire evaluation of this box is going to be. And for that reason is because 7 and 3 is 10, 1 and 9 is 10, 4 and 6 is 10. I'm going to regard everything to have the interior and exterior value of 10. This is 1 part of 3. These 2 are 20. These two are 20. All these three are 30. It's either this 20 and this 20. From 30, you get 40. They both get to use this power station. 66 up and down, 666 across. 6 days and 1 day, and 6 days and 1 day, and 6 days. And like we spoke before, it's 4 balls and it's 3 strikes. When you have 2 balls or a pair, and you have, sorry, this is wrong. When you have 3 balls and what they call a set, and you have 2 strikes and what they call a pair, you can almost have a full house. This 3 is going to be area space. And the reason for that is the value of this is going to be area value 44. It sets up for area space. The reason is area valuation 25, space evaluation 44. This evaluation is 44. But when S and T and E are in the word, okay, in order to create, this is a letter of AI, okay? It's a zone. It is A through H, and it is B through I. But there's no possibility really to get the I, because the I comes within. It's very hard to tell you what's in my head. I can show you the basics on the cube. Okay. And the basics on the cube is the alphabet is from the alphabet AZ. Although it's the 26th letter in the first letter, it's number 8. The alphabet finishes at number 8. Number 9 is plain inside. So we cannot reach all the way from A to I, because A is like I at the other end, and there are 2 ways to do the equation. Pending, it's always questionable. I can do it basic, but I just feel like showing it to you this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can have a separation here and go 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be an 8 letter. We're going to call this Chaldean. Unless we want to call the 9th area this area over here. We have 4, and then we have an area over here, but that's the half area. That's what happens to this area over here. So we're not going to count that. What we're going to do is we're going to go, hold on a second, I'm thinking, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this area, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So you, how can I explain this? This is your total of 9. It's 4, 1, 4, 4, 4. And that's when many, many years ago, when I first started, I got that. All around the same street. Now I'm trying to think of the alphabet. Yes. Okay, so it's 1 through 8. But we can't have an 8 and we can't have a 9 because the cube doesn't have an 8 or a 9, because we only can create it if we had 2 cubes. Except, let me explain, that every face of this cube has 9 areas, and it will be denoted as 9 so we know the difference. Although there should be just a reflection of A, B, C, D. So when you have all these spaces, you have what is like 2 is like 8. What is like 1 is like 9. What is like 7 is like 3, like 4, like 6, etc. So anyways, in this scenario, you're going to go from A to H and B to I. Inside of B, okay, it's B and G where we get the answers. So why do I go from B to I? Because it's inside of G is I. And where is that I in G? It's in here. See that area space you no longer see? It's over here. See the H, 8, and the G, 7. Do you remember we spoke before the number 17? Where is it? It's inside of both alpha, beta created in the void. 1 and 2, 7 and 8 coming together with 1 and 2. So that's what comes together. With 1 and 2 comes 7 and 8. And I don't want to scrap my page anymore. So we understood over here in baseball, right, that there is no seventh pitch. That lonely seventh pitch never happens. It's part of the full expression that there are 7, but it will never happen. So God rested on the 7th day. Does that mean it never happened? So the chicken didn't lay on the 7th day, but the 7th day did happen. So should I get back to the 1440 minutes in a day? Should we get back to this 1440 minutes in a day? The 1440 minutes in a day, we spoke about that earlier. It took us that we needed a minimum of 3 days in order to get what was 72 hours, in which was related to the 720 minutes in a half a day that reverts to 3 times what is a full day or a full vibration inside what is 3 days. But we still only have a half a day here. So we need twice this. So I need another 3 times 1440 equals to 432. Now we've got a full week and we've accumulated to create all our seconds, and all our seconds are created to what our minutes are in a day, to having what is the 720 minutes to what is a half a day, to accumulating it as a 10 times difference to what is 3 times the 24 hours to equal to the 72 hours. That in each 24 hours is 1440 minutes, that you must multiply it by 3 times to create your 432. You must do it twice. You're going around 2 triangles, and going around those 2 triangles, there's going to be 1 day of rest in between, and that 1 day of rest is 1440. And there's more calculations in this, and I'm a little lost. I'm just reverberating it to the actual truth, because what's going to happen to this, right, is once you're done with this, you will end up with 144 hours. And in those 144 hours times 60, you're going to end up with 8640 in minutes. And we need these minutes back to equal to the seconds because of the value of what M is. M is 10 times. I need something to drink in the fridge. Why is M 10 times? 1,000 is only 10 times. 100 is even. That's right. When you're spending money, anything under 100 is even. The question is it dollars? Is it quarters? What is it? It's $100. That when you spend $100, you are spending even and less than full value. I'm not sure what it means, but I will explain to you what I mean. Is that if you were talking what is in rotation of the sun, many things seem to work off of the percentages. So 100% of something is only something complete of what it is. So that 1,000 of something is only of 10 times of what that fullness or wholeness is. Since the face calculator is all about face valuing of 10, that would be fullness. But if we start crisscrossing this calculator, fullness would actually not be 100, but would be 169. And
49, if I get that correctly. We have to crisscross this calculator. 9 and 4, 13, 7 and 6, 13, 4 and 3, 7, 1 and 6, 7, 5 and 2, 7, 8 and 5, 13. So it becomes 39 and 21, equaling to perhaps the 60 seconds on the orange clock sun. I'm a little tired tonight. There's still so many things I'm not even sure because I'm not categorized, you know. Again, back to weights and measures and the little design and the little piece I just spoke about. Oh, yes, and to finish this off, so now we have one singular full cycle. Now, in order to complete that cycle, we have to multiply that by 3. So 8640 times 3 equals to, okay, times 3 equals to 25,920. So let me take this and let me go here. Find me something that matches 25,920. Images, find me something, 25,000. Genuine, Nissan. Look at that. How about if we say this? 25,920 years.
According to Pinterest, one full precession is 25,920 years. Revolving at 1 degree every 72 years equals 30 degrees in 2,160 years.
2160 is the moon. 30 is the day. 30 is also 1.25 of what is the day, working on 5 times 6 hours equaling to 30. That 6 hours, I'm trying to figure out exactly which part is the pull. The 72 is because of the gateway in the moon. 72 divided by 72 equals to what is 360 of 1 part rotation times what probably 19 is 6840, and that of course is going to be an invert of to what the seconds are in the day. The blue world, here, house planet. Here, Pluto. This, Zion, Israel. What is the heaven is between 4 and 6 inside of 5. Inside of Jupiter is our heaven. But they replaced Jupiter, right? Listen to this. In my last design, the 5 area of Jupiter is replaced by Uranus. Uranus is male. Jupiter is female. Uranus is connected to Jupiter. Uranus is connected to Jupiter through Saturn. Is it our life that makes us connected through this set of numbers, or should I be disregarding all the small planets? I mean, all the first 3 planets, and only work with Pluto. And no, we have to take Pluto, and that is part of our birth. In fact, Pluto is everything. Pluto is 1 and 8, the heavens of birth. Pluto is the gateway. Pluto is creation of the light, and Pluto is part of the sun. Pluto is everywhere. Why? Why is Pluto everywhere? Can somebody answer to me that question? Anyways, it's getting a little late. I know I didn't do too many things. I'm not too proud of this video. We didn't speak about these realities, the 3-part and the 4-part, because that's what it's all about, the 3 and the 4. We didn't talk about the 4 suits in the deck of cards, and where the diamond suit counts for 2 suits. There are 4 suits times 91, 364, but we must add another 91 to 91. Let me look at this. 364 plus 91 equals to 455. Yeah, so before we go, I mentioned once or twice I'd like to buy this place, and I want to send out my sentiments and my heart to my owners.
who I feel sorry for, who just want to throw me out so badly and raise my rent if I should stay. I just feel so bad that they just can't find it in their hearts to understand what's going on around all of us. And they have to get that what devours us inside of us, to understand what it is to put in a full day's work, but to also understand what it means to devote yourself to getting what needs to be done in life, doing for others for your own survival, to get your manna, has nothing to do with what you need to do. I mean, yes, we're overindulged in certain enjoyments that maybe we shouldn't, but there's a learning process outside the workplace. Yes, we have to feed ourselves. We should have maybe more time. Would you take care of somebody if they needed, if you had more time and you wouldn't have to work as much? Yeah, your kids. And as you get older, your kids. And as you get older, you start to enjoy life and your kids. And then your kids watch you. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I'm not happy that I'm closing this down. There's a lot of things I haven't talked about. I just don't want to drag it out. I'm tired. And I think that's going to be it. Peace and love to everybody. We're on the other side. We're going to create a system for all this. I'm going to be able to maybe focus a little bit more and put some of this in order, so it can be better understood, perhaps. And remember, everything is a skeleton. There's 26 pieces. They're like bookends. Take it apart, put one here, put one here, put one here, put one here. I think there's an empty space in the middle. Maybe we'll put something in there that can control everything. But remember, if you hold it from the inside, you have to be holding it on the outside also, so it doesn't just swing and swang all around. Peace and love.